If you practice law in Miami, here's what we did. We asked ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google's Gemini, and Claude who the best lawyer is across every practice area, and then we read 2,221 real answers back. My name is Mark Apple. I'm the founder and partner of Forward Push Law Firm Marketing, and I can tell you that right now, two people in Miami could ask the same question on the same night and get completely different experiences depending on what kind of case they have when it comes to using AI to find a law firm. One person is going to ask about a real estate deal. The AI gives them the same two, maybe three law firms that it gives almost everyone else who asks that question, because business and real estate law in Miami are locked up tight when it comes to AI and finding a firm. You've got Holland and Knight, you've got Greenberg, and you've got Schutz taking about 56% of every answer that the AI gives between them. You also then have Ackerman, Greenberg, and Bilson doing almost the same thing when it comes to real estate answers in AI. The other is going to ask about divorce. The AI is going to name one of about over 100 different family law firms because there's nobody that's locked up this category in Miami. Family law alone surfaced 112 different law firms. Criminal defense ran almost as wide with about 85 firms deep. And immigration, it split the difference. It was crowded, but there were some real distinct leaders. Here's why that split matters more than the raw numbers do. If you practice in one of Miami's locked categories and you're not one of the 2 or 3 law firms already dominating it, breaking in is basically an uphill fight against firms with years of accumulated authority. If you practice in one of the wide open categories, you're not actually competing against a locked field at all, and that's good news. You're competing against 100 other firms who mostly haven't done the work either, which means the bar to stand out is a lot lower than the raw competition count makes it look. Think about this. When Perplexity cited a Miami source, 90% of the time it was a directory, with super lawyers leading at about 14.4% and Justia at 12%. It was close to the same pattern we saw across most of the study that we did. So the first question for any Miami law firm is which Miami you're actually in. If you're in a locked category, treat that as a long campaign built on directory authority and content depth, because you're trying to move firms that have been sitting at the top for years. If you're in one of the open categories, go ahead right now, complete your super lawyers and your Justia profiles, because in a field this crowded and this uncommitted, a fully finished profile can be the single thing that separates you from the other 100 firms who never even bothered checking out what their firm profiles look like. The tools, the AI tools, overlapped only in about 6% of the time here. And Google Gemini never really named an actual firm except 4% of the Miami answers that it gave us. So whichever Miami you're fighting in, be sure to check all 4 AI tools before you draw any conclusions about where you stand. When you go ahead and do that, making sure that you fill out both your super lawyers and your Justia profiles, you are definitely upping the game to get your law firm listed when someone asks AI who the best attorney is in Miami. I'm Mark Apple. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you leave a comment below, I read every single one of them, and I will personally get back to you. Thanks.